Face video, hello. But I'm not sure I'm out there yet. Chrome, it was supposed to connect automatically. We are live. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hello out there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to connect with you. View in live control room. Hello there. It's Thursday. Oh my goodness. And look at you all out there. Oh, now I can see you and your chat. Okay. Hello everyone. Oh, this is exciting. Wow. I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon. I needed this break, but I had all kinds of trouble getting here. My mouse battery died. Can you hear me? Let's start there. We see you and hear me. Thank you very much, Michigan. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm using the OBS program that I used a long time ago, trying to connect with Pastor Woods when I did the testimony, but I gave up on it because that was always so difficult. If you don't know me, I'm Moni from Moments with Moni, and today is our Creativi-Tea. I have my tea. I hope you have yours. It's an iced tea, and I just put a peppermint tea bag in there. So I'd like to just have a little bit of minty flavor and refreshness because guess what? Our air conditioner actually came on last night. It's finally really, really warm. We hear you. Yay, Teresa. I'm glad. It's been too warm. All of a sudden, everything is in bloom and it's in the 80s and we've got tornado warnings and storm warnings and all that kind of stuff. Good, good, good. Hi, Teresa and Pepper Leah and Delaney. Michigan Daffodil, I saw you in here. Anybody else that I know or don't know? Good to see you all. Oh, yeah, Pepperly, I said hello. And D is Delaney. And Danny Thrive is here. And gentlemen. Yes, I'm sorry. I am so used to just saying hello to the ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, good to have you here today. This is not just a ladies program. Yeah, because Danny, since you are, I think the only guy here, you might have some input for us on some of the things coming up with creativity in our budget. Maybe have some ideas. But yeah, so I am here because, well, Thursday is a wonderful time for me to take a break here. Is the picture dark? It's really dark on my side with this program. Hi, Paul Perfect. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gentleman. Danny, you have to invite some of your friends. Yeah, so anyway, I brought my peppermint tea, and I used some of the arnica tea that I mentioned last week because I was hurting so much from the weather, I think it was, but that really helped. And prayer. Delaney was praying for me. So that really, really helped. I appreciate it. Hi, Nikki. It's a cozy lightning here. Cozy lighting? No, it should be brighter. I have all the lights on just like usual, but it looks different. I think it's because it's so bright outside right now. I guess I'll have to look into that. Anyway, if you can, okay, cozy lighting, at least we'll have a cozy afternoon together. How's that? I took some time, or I tried to get some time to do some watercolor painting. I told you I was going to try that for my creative endeavor this week. I never got there. Never ever got there. How about any of you? Did any of you have a creative endeavor that you got to this week? We were going to try and get ourselves unstuck out of the rut of life. Sometimes going into a different area, if you're constantly working at your desk, trying to do something different helps you get out of that rut. If you're constantly washing dishes, maybe a little bit of artwork would help. If you're constantly chopping trees down, try something different. So anyway, I would like to share something that someone did for me, some of their artwork. I have several pictures, but this one is actually a live picture of something that Pepper Leah made for me. It is a doily that she made. She made, I think it's about a dozen of these, and a huge centerpiece for the table for our tea time with the granddaughters, and they love it. They love coming over. In fact, they were here yesterday to have tea. Well, to help me clean the house. They come over every other week and help me with that. And of course, they get some pocket money for doing that. And they like using these because they get to set up the table for a tea time. And we did that yesterday, and we made lemon curd. Have any of you ever made lemon curd? It is beautiful. It's like a snowflake, and it's neutral, so I can use it all through the year. Just decorate the table. It's very pretty. They are. Yeah, they enjoy that a lot. And speaking of Pepper Leah, do you know that her birthday's coming up? It's a couple weeks, I think. Yeah, it's a couple more weeks yet. Just throwing the hint out there. March. Any other March birthdays in the house? It is beautiful work. Oh, no, you never made lemon curd? It is yummy. I made it, 20 years or so. Well, let's see. The oldest, is 18 now. Almost 20 years ago. And then just yesterday we did it again, the girls and I. So that was great. It's an English thing. You use clotted cream and lemon curd on a scone. But we had cream cheese and toast and lemon curds. This is what was in the fridge. And some tea. Turning 21 again. That's right. She is, I'm sure. Yeah, it is. It's really tart. Well, you can make it as sweet as you want, but I don't like a lot of sugar in things. Pastor Tyler was just talking about that this morning. I went and checked because I bought one of those bags from Costco, the organic sugar, last year, and I thought I would be using more of it, so I bought some before Christmas, another bag last year, because I thought we'd be baking more, but I still have stuff from the bag from the year before. So I don't use a lot of sugar, but I do use the real thing. Covered my screen. I use the real thing because all the chemicals from the others mess with my system even worse than just a little bit of sugar. Your brother's is the 20th of March, eh? Yeah, we have 2 granddaughters that have birthdays in March. And my mom's was in March. Your mother-in-law is, and daughter-in-law, and your brother. My goodness, March is busy for you. May is busy. That I can't even remember how many birthdays we have in May. And they're not all around the same age. It's just so many in that month. It's amazing. And then mine is June 1st. So, by the time everybody's finally through May, they don't turn the calendar to see my birthday. So I always got forgotten, even by my mother. That was made it up to me, though. So that was even better. That's like my husband's. He is, and Jeremy, I guess, has the same birthday. They have December 20th. So I always ask them, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? Nothing, but for my birthday, I'd like this and this and this and this. Yeah, but I'm not concentrating on birthdays in December. Well, only Jesus's. Right? Right, right. Okay. Yeah, you're having your friend's birthday party this evening. That's nice. Very nice. Okay, I have some more artwork to share with you. People sent some in, and I figured out how to do this. So here is one of the pictures. Got to be in studio mode to show you and switch it over. Here we go. See my face, and then the next one. There we go. I think she called this In His Hands. Now, I know she does, she being Creating with Love, Brandy from Creating with Love YouTube channel. She was here last week. I don't know if she'll make it in today, but, and I'm not sure if this is digital art or if it's paint. She sent in another one, and I saw on her website that she does a lot of digital art. So let's go to the other one, and you can see maybe that. Okay. Here's me again. There it is. Now, can you see it? Of course, that's Jesus and Mother Mary. And again, I'm not sure if it is digital art, but I think it is. Yeah, it is very nice. I wish she was here to explain it. I didn't get anything in the email regarding it, but I did get the pictures from her. And then there's last week, remember I told you Nancy won the journal? Well, she sent me a picture of the art, what is it? A tassel that she made to go on her for her Bible and the Bible journal. Now I have to switch it again. There it goes. Right there on the side, the tassel. I don't know how she put it together, but it looks pretty. Chris and Nikki says, very pretty. I can do some stick people with no hair. You saw that? Oh, yeah, I did. I posted it on the community page on my channel here. You're right, we did. Well, if you go to Moments with Moni on the YouTube page, there's the posts that you can look at. And then I made a painting. I'll try and get it on here as well. I think I have to go back to my video. I have to see me first. And it takes a moment, so I'm not sure if it gets through. But this is a picture that I painted with acrylics. I like to do acrylics a lot. Do you see it yet? Yeah, Nikki Color with an adult coloring book. That's how I do some art. I showed that last week. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. It did just take a moment. It slows. It's slower than my program. Shows up later in YouTube. Anyway, that is the cover to an album that we did of music. I painted the picture and then added some digital print on it so that we could print it out and make a CD cover. You know, people used to make CDs and put them in the little packets. And thank you. Yeah, nice. Acrylics are nice. What I like about this one is it shows the darkness and the light, and it has the feel of oil, but I can't use oils because of the odor of the paint and the thinner. So I used the acrylics and tried to make it look like oil paints. Does anybody else? Okay. I'm going to try and put me back in there. Anybody else paint with either watercolors or... Oh, thank you, Nancy. You are here. Hello to you and yours. Happy Thursday afternoon. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Phew, that was scary. I didn't try to do music with this because I know when I tried to do that in the past, it would always loop. So I'm not brave enough to do that yet. Michigan says, I want to write a Bible verse around the colored pics in a coloring book. Yeah, I have one like that, a coloring book like that. It's really nice, but we need more of those. Those are good. You need to order paint for the ceiling. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have that too. I don't like to do that. Oh, but here's another painting. The one I had up on the shelf behind me. I broke the glass on. I thought I'd pull that down and just let you see it. Oh, I'm not sure if you can. There we go. This one is watercolor. And I didn't know what to do in the foreground, so I just left it plain. But I enjoyed it. It's still a work in progress. And with the better weather coming, if you are interested, I got this little set for my granddaughters. Okay, I need to switch the screens here so I can see me. There we go. I got this little set for my granddaughters, and they loved it so much, and I looked into it, that I got one for myself because it's kind of like paint on the go. You've got all your colors in there, including this brush plus more, and then a little palette and that water brush pen. You actually, I don't know if you've ever done watercolors before, but you actually use this pen. You fill it up with water in here, and then you use the pen itself to wet your palette or your paper, and then you can paint so that it doesn't, or that's one technique, but it'll be a lighter color that way, and then you can do layers. It's all about the layers, whether you do acrylic or watercolor. And I'm not sure if oil is the same way, but I think so. You start out with one layer, let it dry. Well, oils doesn't dry, so maybe it's not the same way, but oils you can just kind of push into each other and they mix. Anyway, it's fun. It's something that occupies your mind. God is a creative God, and he made us creative creatures, hasn't he? I think we need to use that creativity, especially to be able to bless our families. Like I was saying to Danny earlier, one of the things that we can do is to be creative with our budgets right now, with all that's going on in the world. It's nice to get away and do some creative things, but we need to use that creative wisdom to maybe make things stretch in the kitchen or in the gasoline budget. If you haven't filled up your car, it's time to do it. Who knows how long it'll last? And I don't know. I'm preparing for everything. First off, for Jesus to come back. And if he doesn't, if he tarries, then I'm still prepared for him for when he gets here. Just got a pack of gel crayons. Those things are so nice. Half oil pastel and half crayon. I just saw those on a video. That's cool. That's nice. She was doing a Oh, what's it called? The impressionistic type of painting with that. And there were kind of a large glue stick type. Oh, thank you. Psalm 1, verse 3. That is exactly where I got it from. My husband's name, Nancy, is Bradford, and his name is based on that particular verse. He's like a tall tree standing in the middle of a raging river where people find shelter underneath that tree and protection. So I've actually drawn that in with colored pencils into my Bible at Psalm 1, and then also tried to do the picture here. That's really neat that you picked that up. You just sent me a picture of one painting I did on my room with Pinterest inspiration in Messenger. Okay. I can't access it now. I mean, I could, but it'll take me forever to get it into this program. So now I have something to share for next week, and the same for all of you if you'd want to send me something. So creativity, I talked to you about the greenhouse. Well, the girls, after they finished cleaning yesterday, they helped me set it up. So now I'm all set up to start being creative in there. I've got the seeds and the coconut core and all the things that I'm going to use to grow the plants in, so we can be creative and grow things in the house. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf shall also not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalm 1:3. Exactly. Thank you, Teresa. I love the King James, the beauty of it. I grew up on it. Very nice. Yeah. So, any of you get to dig in the dirt and grow things that'll help with the budget too. And another thing, what was it? Oh, just, as you're cooking meals, pull back on the portions, add a little less meat, a little less coffee, use your tea bags twice, or all day long, like I do with this. It's like a cold brew. I just use one tea bag and put it in there so that I have a bit of a tea taste in my cold water with ice in here. Especially the peppermint in the summertime is so good. My current creativity is starting making 60 to 80 dish scrubbies for church's ladies retreat. Oh, ladies retreat, March 21st. Boy, you better get moving. Cool. I like those things. Those are really nice. Somebody made those for me. I think I purchased some from somebody from Everyday Outreach like years ago when I first started. And they were really nice. It was like a very coarse yarn, and I ended up giving them to my children. The grandchildren, because they really liked them so much using them here. But now I can't remember who it was. It was somebody that doesn't come anymore, I guess. I think she moved. You have a greenhouse this year, 8 by 13. May or may not be able to put it up. It's in God's hands. Grandfather is priority over garden. I get it. I have other priorities too. And I'm hoping, and I'm not trying to pressure myself or you with the greenhouse. I'm just finding, like the other day, I cut open, I don't know if you ever do pan-fried meals. I have a air fryer in my oven. So I will chop up all kinds of veggies, and I'll take a huge bulb of garlic and chop the tops off of the whole bulb of garlic and put those in there so that they air fry with a little bit of olive oil on them. Well, I chopped into took the top off of all of the cloves that were in that bulb, and they were all green and already growing inside. So I took that one and just put it in a container of water, and they're starting to grow. And you can do the same thing with the bottom of lettuce or green onions. And I'm just going to put those in little containers and put them inside my greenhouse. And that's not going to take up a lot of time. But if you have it and it's there, you're actually going to be that much farther ahead. Even if it's just, one or two salads. I like it. I'm going to keep trying. You have to go. Okay, have fun. Go be party prep and spoil her. Happy birthday to Missy. Yeah, so what else kind of veggies can you grow in a greenhouse? Things that you buy from the store and chop off, the regrowth things. I know green onions work, garlic, lettuce. Delaney, I don't know if you heard that, but even just a simple things in the greenhouse put in water, just like the bottom part of a head of lettuce, the root part, put it in water and it'll regrow. Or chop off the top of a bulb of garlic, and if they're green inside, let them grow. Celery, yeah, that's another one. Good. Greenhouses get so hot. Well, mine is going to be inside. And yeah, even if it's outside, I have mine under the awning outside, and it's 110 with humidity, and things did fine in there. When it gets really hot, you have to open up the vinyl around it, and there's usually a breeze to keep the mold down. Paw Perfect, you owe chocolate milk? What? Oh, jinx, I see. Green onions in a glass with a tiny bit of water. Yeah, or herbs. You can buy herbs at the store that are this time of year in the spring. It comes in a package with the roots attached, and you just chop off the top and then put it in water and it'll grow. Yes, there are delayed responses because I am on my OBS program, which works quicker than what YouTube does. And I have to look at both screens. So I am talking to you with the very delayed responses on the early OBS program. So maybe I should speak slower. You're having issues with chat for some reason? I don't know. A lot of people have been having trouble with internet. I think things are going on out there in the world. Yep. Yeah, and free celery, more free celery. And the tiny seeds, the microgreens or sprouts, they grow back quickly too in there. So even if I have just that in my greenhouse, if that's full of stuff like that, I'm farther ahead. As long as we eat it. If you don't eat it, and it won't go bad that way, you just get it when it's ready and put it into your refrigerator. Your chat goes blank in the phone. Oh no. Oh, you're Kate. So you're going to plant your very well-rooted spider plant babies into your front porch pots hopefully with reseeded plants from last summer, maybe mostly free porch pot flowers this year. Yay, Michigan daffodil. Those are good plants. I haven't had spider plants since I was my teens, but they were so fun because they grow so well. And all those spider babies coming off of there. Yeah, Delaney, I might need to use that. So where's my notes? I wanted to share a few things too. Oh, and then for health also to prepare ahead. Some of the things I wanted to make was tinctures. I think I told you my husband went and got a bottle of vodka because we don't drink, and this is a dry county, but he managed to get one when he was out visiting a different county, went to Little Rock area, the big town in Arkansas. And that way I can make tinctures for our health, like mullein that helps with anything respiratory. And then you can't grow that inside, so I have to buy that and dry it. Hoping to do potatoes and butternut squash this year. Low effort, high yield. Absolutely. Yeah. And then there's two different kinds of potatoes, just like tomatoes, the determinate and the indeterminate. The indeterminate, I think, is the one that grows up and continually, so you have to keep covering it. But the determinate goes out and stays under, so you don't have to keep burying it. So it's a good idea to find out which one it is. And butternut squash, I've never planted before. I don't know if you have trouble with critters, but we always had trouble with deer that would eat anything out there. So I got these pellets from Amazon that you can sprinkle around your garden, but once it rains or snows, they're no good anymore and you have to put more out. But I do hear that human urine helps to, if you put that around your garden. But I guess that's fertilizer too, but it will burn. And you don't want any, if you're getting it from someone, you don't want it, someone that takes any kind of medicine. You want to learn how to do tinctures too. Okay, I'll have to do some videos on that. Speaking of that, I did do a video on pressure canning, and I put that up. I did some meat, some beef. We needed some beef. We hadn't had any in a while. So I bought a container from Costco and then canned up all the rest of it so that I can dole that out a little at a time. But pressure canning is different. So I'll have to, and I also did another one for pressure canning beans. Beans are always good to have on hand in any kind of a situation where there's trouble getting food. You don't want dry beans because you may not have water, you may not have enough electricity or way to cook them, and it takes forever for hard dried beans to get cooked. So if you can can them ahead of time, then you can just eat them right out of the jar. If you have to, you can even eat them cold. Yeah, marigolds are great in the garden. The bunnies don't like them. The grasshoppers don't like them. All the bugs don't like them. That's a good one. Cinnamon is another one in the garden that's good to sprinkle to keep bugs away. Delaney, that's great. Oh, it works. You did that already. You did pay them. Past tense, I see. Well, if you're watching, you'll have to go into the chat at about this timestamp here, 15:32. No, I don't know where we're at here. But and check out her comment. You don't have an electric pressure cooker? Do you have an electric pressure canner? I have that. I actually have both. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. But I got a stovetop cooker, pressure cooker. That's the first time I've ever used one of those. Cloves, does that work too in the garden? It's a strong odor as well. Yeah. Speckled marigolds, free seeds. Yes. Oh, seed saving is an important, very important thing to do when you're growing things. I have it's like Fort Knox to have a box of your seeds to save from whatever you grew that year so that for future years you will have them. And they last a lot longer than people say. I saw a video about a girl who has a friend who had whose friend worked at a Dollar Tree store, and they had to get rid of all the seeds because of the expiration date. She got 200 bags or so of seeds just because the packet said it had an expiration date on it. They'll last for a lot longer. I've got some that are 10 years old that I know are still germinating and doing well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a new stove that's a flat top glass also. Um, and I have the pressure cooker that I use on top of it, and it's okay for it. But yeah, you have to look, at your stove instructions and the pressure cooker instructions as well. They smash potato beetles for free? Wow, you have great little neighbors. Broccoli seeds as decoration? What do you mean? I don't know what that is. Here, my mom always planted marigolds next to tomato plants in the garden to keep tomato worms away. Absolutely. I have never, ever, ever in my life seen a tomato worm until I got here. So I knew nothing of them, Nancy. This was my first time going out, completely naive about tomato worms. And here I am just picking those beautiful little cherry tomatoes. And all of a sudden I come across this tomato worm that's this long and this fat around. Okay, like that fat around. And it's all green and it's nasty and it's eating my tomato leaves. I mean, the whole thing is being destroyed and they're all over this plant. And they're leaving their little eggs everywhere. So, first I shrieked and panicked, and then I had to look it up on Google, and I went inside and got some tweezers and a bucket of hot, soapy Dawn dishwater, and then went out there and started pulling them off and dropping them in the water. And, oh, it was yucky, very yucky. And then I still missed some. And they suggested that you go outside with a flashlight at night and look up under the leaves with the flashlight because they glow in the dark. So I found a few that way. Ooh, that was scary. Yeah, I'd rather plant, the hornworm. I'd rather plant marigolds all over than have those again. Oh, you had a finch that would take one bite out of every tomato. Those birdies. Waste not, want not. Don't they know about that? Oh, that's okay. We understood it. That's great. Oh, strings and pucks. No, not that kind of eggs. That's disgusting. Oh, my goodness. Hello for stopping by and making me almost vomit. That's bad. Now, speaking of eggs, let's go back to chickens. And you can feed those eggs to the chickens. That would work properly. Yeah, feed it to them. Exactly, Teresa. Yeah, I didn't have any chickens, so I dropped it in the hot, soapy water. My husband says I can't have chickens because if one got loose, he would be the one having to run after it and catch it, and he doesn't want to do that. So I get it. I get it. Yeah, any more suggestions on a garden or things to help us to prepare for the coming troubles ahead? With those WARs in the world and all the things that may come with it. We need to be prepared so that we're not scared. In our homes, in our lives, in our souls, all those things. Right now, as homemakers or heads of the household, whatever, there are different things that we can do to prepare. Make sure that we have everything that we need and maybe another one. Maybe another oil filter for the car. Maybe gas it up now instead of waiting till next week. Medicinal herbs, yes, to prepare ahead with those. We touched on that a little bit. That would be a really good thing to do. I said about the mullein, that's great for anything respiratory. And of course, make sure you do your own research on all of this stuff. What else do I use? Mullein. Oil of oregano, another one staple here because it's an antimicrobial, antibiotic, anti-everything. It's fantastic. And Black seed oil is another one. It's cumin black seed. I have not figured out how to make that yet. I've just been purchasing the oil, and it works great. Also, like the oil of oregano, and of course elderberry for the immune system. And you can make these all with the alcohol, like vodka, or a vanilla extract. You can use spiced rum as the base. And then because I have grandchildren, I also have vegetable glycerin that I use to make some of the tinctures with. If you're interested in that, I'll make a video of it and show you how to make some of those things. Michigan says canned dry beans, so easy. A quarter to third cup of beans in a pint jar, add water, 1 teaspoon salt, pressure can at 90 minutes, if I recall correctly. You are correct for a rebel canner. If you have never done canning before, if you've never canned dry beans before, don't do it that way. I need you to get the Ball canning book and do it per their instructions. And that means you soak the beans overnight so that they get large, or cook them for a certain amount of hours in the water until they get inflated. And then you put them in the jars and follow the directions. I'm a rebel canner. I do it like she said. You have the instructions here. You don't want to go over a third because it'll put too much pressure on it when they grow, and you won't get a good seal. But there's people that have been canning for a lot longer than our USDA stamp people. So, but always please do your research. There are a lot of things that I will do. In fact, the next video I have about when I do the beans, I reuse lids like from the Prego jars, spaghetti jars. They have that clicker on the top, the seal. If you press down on it, you hear it click after you open the jar, but you can't get the jar open because it's sealed so tight. Well, those will work over and over and over again. So I use them again, especially when I'm cooking beans, canning beans, because we go through them so quickly. And then if it doesn't, I always check it right after they are done being pressure canned. And if it doesn't seal, I put the jar in the fridge and we use that first. So it's not a problem. But, canning jars and lids, they say not to use the Prego jars or anything that isn't an actual canning jar. I have not had a jar break on me. Many people don't. But technically, if you've never done it before, please get the book, Ball Canning, and do it step by step so that you know exactly how to do things before you start wandering off into rebel land, okay? I want you to be safe. You don't want to get sick. Botulism is not pretty. Nancy? Bye, everyone. Well, bye, Nancy. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Yeah. You're going to grow lots of flowers this year to help the bees. Oh, that's a really good idea. That's excellent. We've got to get a hanger out here to for the hummingbirds. Good peppermint water. Hurting your heart? Oh, with your jar? Why? What's wrong with that? What did I do wrong? Delaney? It has to do with canning, I think. We can't get nothing to beat them. Okay, you'll be right back. All right. Well, God is good. He's teaching us, to be prepared, and we may not have those fancy canning lids all the time. So if you can, save those jars. I've got boxes of them out in the garage. Moving from Idaho to here, I had to give everything away. Everything away. But, it blessed other people at the time. And now I had to slowly prepare my kitchen again for that. Delaney is scared of rebel canning. She's concerned. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Please do it by the book. If you're scared of it, do it by the book. Do not attempt rebel canning in any way if you're afraid of that. Go exactly by the book. Time flies when we're having fun. Yes, it does. Yep. But I have an electric pressure canner now, and 2 of them, and that's in the video that I posted last week, I think. And I show you the canner itself. But it's, I used to have those huge ones that you can do, I don't know, I think it was 24 quarts at a time. But I don't, and it took 3 days to do stuff, but I can't do that anymore. So whatever I make for dinner, I just pack up the leftovers in these jars and set it and forget it. Am I in a tornado watch right now? No, I'm not. We actually have clear skies, and I have not had any alerts on my phone. I think it's all going to the northwest of us, near, if you are aware of Okies Eden, and Brandy, and Jeremy knows of them as well. Over in that area, he's had some go right overhead. Oklahoma, and I think even Pastor Tyler, there may be some going over him. Although he's in that Texarkana little corner between Texas and Arkansas, and it always seems to miss him there, just like it always seems to miss us here, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah, but that's life. You just never know. You never know. It's just like California growing up there. Earthquakes, and you never know. There was an earthquake, in Louisiana this morning. Danny, oh good. Danny says, I was terrified the first time I pressure canned. No problem now. I agree. And those big ones that you have the little, that little thing that rocks back and forth when the steam is coming out. That one is scarier to me than this electric one because it has an automatic shut off if the pressure goes too high. The other one, the stovetop kind, is you have to watch it. You had to watch the dial so that it stayed within that correct pressure, because if it ever fell down below the lowest pressure, then you'd have to start all over again. And that scared me. You love the pressure canning, but I can't stand the sound of the weight ticking back and forth. Right. And there's a lot less of that with the electric canner, the electric pressure canner, because it does at the beginning when it's building up the steam. You have to have that open and it kind of rocks and steams. But then when it beeps and it says that it's time to for it to start cooking, then you push it with something long and seal it, and then it stops and it's quiet as it cooks. Yours is stovetop. Yeah, that's different. Because and then do you have electric or gas? Gas is a little more exact to keep your pot at the same temperature, but electric, it's just, it rises and falls. Oh, you're going to have tough stuff tomorrow? Nikki, I'm sorry. Yeah. Is Michigan too? All this weather? Does an electric canner can anything? Yes, actually, what this is, it's the Nesco or the Carry. They're both the same canner, but one company bought out the other. I have one of each name, but they're the same thing. It's an electric pressure canner, and that's the highest of its use. But it can also, and by doing that, how to use that is you have the outer shell, and then there's another inner shell, and then there's a plate that you put into the bottom. And then you put your jars of things inside on top of that plate, and you fill it up with water, hot or cold, depending on what's in your jars. And then you close the lid, and then you set the program. That's for pressure canning what's inside the jar, because that would be any of the low acid foods like meat or vegetables. And those need a higher pressure to kill the botulism that's inside the jar. Now, Europeans will do what we call rebel canning, and they will boil it for 3 hours, and they call it good. But like meats and vegetables, or the Amish do that. I'm not comfortable with that. That's where I draw the line with rebel canning. Now they've done it for generations, and it's probably fine for them. I don't feel safe with that. Anyway, this machine has a pressure. That's how you use it, as a pressure canner. So you're canning the jars with safely by using the machine that way. If you want to use it as a pressure cooker, you don't put the jars or that metal plate in at the bottom. You just put your food inside of it with the liquid, and then close the lid and set the timing for all of it. And then, voila, in whatever time it says, you've got a meal inside the cooker. So it can be used as a canner or a cooker. Does that answer your question? Wow, your winds are picking up out there, Oh, Delaney, I'm sorry. That's a bummer. Had a jar of chili shatter in the pressure canner. That was fun to clean. Yeah, and it does happen. That's why you need to check your jars before you use them. They can be brand new jars. It doesn't have to be used ones or repurposed ones. They can be brand new ones and have a bubble in the glass or a chip or a crack, tiny crack. You need to look at all of your jars before you use them. 300 years water bath canning. Yeah, some people are comfortable with that, and you can if you understand the risk that if you've done the research, let's put it that way, and you feel comfortable with it, then, it's on you and your family. I did what I did, and this is what I feel comfortable. Oh, look at that. There it is, just like the Bible. I just shared that on Monday. Yeah, don't believe what I say. Don't believe the same way I believe, because you need to get the convictions of your heart yourself, whether it be of the Bible or of pressure canning. Whew, wow, there's a good example. Oh, wow. Okay, so who's got the special advisory? Quick, heavy rain spots. Is that Michigan by you? Strings? So sunny earlier. Danny says, when I worked in Michigan, I would can soups and stews and take them to work for lunch. Great. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's what I did. I like to make like a big pot of cabbage soup with all kinds of vegetables. And that's another thing. If you can, whatever you can, especially if you're making a soup or stew, you need to can to the highest amount of time for whichever item that's in that jar requires the most amount of time. So if I add some chicken or meat to it, then I have to consider it a meat product that I'm canning, not just a vegetable product. Oh, just turn. Trees are swaying like crazy. Ooh, Father, please watch over wherever this is. And we ask for your protection on everyone in this path of whatever the storm is. And we ask that we know, Lord, that even the wind and the seas obey you. So please, Lord, speak and keep your children safe. In Jesus' name we all pray. Amen. Amen, amen. Well, it does that. It happens so quickly, doesn't it? It was very dark here this morning, and now it's sunny. But I think Friday there's something headed our direction a little bit closer. Amen. Yes. Oh, it's Strings and Pucks. Hey, if you guys get a chance, this last Wednesday, he put out a video about worship, of just worship songs. And I coined it Worship Wednesday because it was, I think he did it live. I think he said maybe hello to one person at the end. But I really liked it because I just turned it on and listened to it on repeat while I'm working and worshiping God. It's not like, I enjoy talking with you all live, but I'm stopping and talking to Teresa or to Chris and Nikki or to Strings, and instead of continuing on my thought, and we're just talking and interacting. But when he's playing guitar and worshiping, it was really nice to have just the worship. And he does a great job. Great. Oh, thank you for putting up the link in there. I appreciate that. I'm assuming that is Strings' link from this Wednesday, because I don't recognize that exactly. Good. I'm glad the radar doesn't look that bad. Oh, good. I'm glad that's the right link. So if you're in the chat, you can see where that is and turn that on and worship God. It was beautiful, really beautiful. And we'll get to do that forever one of these days. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. Yeah, that'll be nice. And it was nice to see Pastor Brad this morning. Maybe we'll get some more worship time out of him on Thursdays, eh? You may just be the cowardly lion. Okay, and then for your health. Oh, I think I touched on that already, didn't I? Good. You will go and listen afterwards. Yeah, that helps too. Jeremy's actually trying to get monetized on, and he's very close to getting monetized on YouTube, and it's hard to get there. I'm not actively seeking that. I'm just enjoying being able to do more and more, and maybe I'll get there one of these days. But he's working for his family. He's trying to, I guess he is through the hockey already, but this is also for them. And that helps him and Jen, for him to be able to support the family, I would suppose. Although I haven't talked with him about that. Yeah, Brad was rocking today. He was. Yeah, it was good to see him. I hope that, and we can pray that he gets good results from, or at least find out what they can do, how they can help. How can you do that? Okay, Delaney says, I had 10 of your stream replays running at the same time earlier while on the phone. I don't know how you can do 10 at the same time. I just go into, and you can do the same for Brad and Krista. Go into their playlists or mine and hit the whatever playlist they have and start playing that. But you have to have the volume up on the video for it to count, but you can turn the volume down on your phone if you have to go do something else, or on the TV or whatever. But that, yeah, if you mute it on the actual video itself, it won't count as a view. But if you mute the device, yeah, that's fine. That'll work that way. We get all around these. On the computer? Yeah, you can watch it on the computer. It's good. And then you got to jump through hoops to try and get monetized, even when you get to that point. Yeah, well, it's nice to have it on all over, but I can't do that because my husband's working. So here I am, hiding here in the corner, not hiding, but trying to get my voice, my sound away from all of his work in his room. But as soon as he finishes in there, then he heads over to the music room and he makes loud noise, and sometimes it picks up over here. Your device was muted. Yeah, that works. That works. And then Danny, the soups and stews. If you have any recipes that you want to share, you can put them on send them to me. I can post them on my YouTube posts here, or put them on the forum for us if you would. And it doesn't have to be, well, okay, here's the rebel, not rebel thing again. If you want to do it properly, you should read the Ball Canning book for any recipes because of the low acid or high acid thing. And that lets you know how long you're supposed to can it. But if you're more comfortable with it, you can use just about anything. The spices that you put in it, though, you don't want to add all the spices into the can itself, the jar, because you can, depending on how long they're going to stay, if you're going to be on the shelf for a year, then it's going to alter the taste a bit. So I like to do just plain things. I'll do beef with a little bit of salt. I'll do carrots with, well, my husband likes it with brown sugar and orange juice because it makes them sweeter. But usually it's just one item at a time. For myself, I don't mind. I toss the whole soup, stew, whatever in there. But for him, because he doesn't usually like to have his food touch, they all have to be separate. But he will enjoy a pot of beef stew. So I grab a jar of the beef, of the carrots, and potatoes. I can potatoes as well. Moni, did I go to Aldi yet? No, I haven't. I did get out and vote the other day. I voted early. And we even said, should we stay out and do something? Nah, we should get home. I could have gone to Aldi. Yes, Michigan, save money by growing herbs, many different basil flavors. Lemon balm is also another good one. Lemon balm is good health-wise. It's a calming herb. Now, if you're on medicines for that, you need to be careful. But I'd rather be on an herb than medicines. So, if you're calmed down too much, then don't use as much. Again, do your own research, but we've used that and it's really helped. If he gets too stressed at work, it's really nice. Danny, I would love to. Some are from the hip, but I follow the canning times for low acid foods. Good. Yeah, that's fine. Just mention it's from the hip and they can do the research if they want to. Oh, that might be by you, Delaney. If they're German, yeah. My German heritage. I remember going to stores in Germany. Even at that time, they had Walmarts. Now they don't even allow them there, and an Aldi. But I don't know. I think it's because of the way they went through war. The English will line up, in England in a queue, in a line, to whatever they're going to. The Germans, once that door is open, they plow right through, and you better not be in the way. They'll run you over. And their shopping carts are so cool. They're not like ours that go straight and back, and then you have to turn them around to get them turned around. These will go forward, sideways, and back. And so you can move it any way you want. And I kind of got in the way of someone who was in a hurry, and I got chewed out. It wasn't nice, I just looked at her and said, "Have a nice day." In German, of course, so she could understand me. They're not German, just rude. I'm sorry. You know, the world is hard right now. It's not nice. It's people are dealing with a lot, especially in the medical field, in service. Um, they just have to deal with people all day long, and they probably get sick and tired of it. And then there's some people that are just rude. I agree. They might be. So we need to just just keep shining, and maybe we could be that bit of sunshine that they need that day. And then there's other times, I'm saying this because that's what I would want to do, but there are other times I would come home and say, "I can't believe she did that. Can you believe that?" Okay, take a deep breath. I'm sorry, Lord. Yeah, that's just life. Sometimes I do it, sometimes others do it. I don't know. I think it's just life. Time also. Thank you, Michigan. Time. I don't know what time is good for. I'll have to research that one. Tulsi basil. That's like holy basil. Holy basil and ashwagandha are really good for the adrenals, and they calm your system down. And by using them this way, they are ones that I understand your body only uses what it needs, and so you never get too much of it. Just like the mushroom coffee that I'm taking, it has ashwagandha in it, or the mushroom powder, and so it's helping my adrenals, giving me more energy. I'm enjoying it because I add a little bit of milk or cream, whatever I have, and a little bit of protein powder, and cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for blood sugar. You do ashwagandha tea. Yeah. I don't know if that's, well, it's definitely not as strong as a tincture. Rosemary is another one. Oh, yeah, I put them away. I had oils up here. The rosemary oil or tincture, if you sniff it, it'll go past the blood-brain barrier. And I tested it after chemo. When I was going to church after chemo, I would have these, just blank stares, and my brain wasn't working, and I felt stupid. In Sunday school, I couldn't even answer a question, forgot everything I learned about the Bible, and seriously, it was bad. But I started taking a little bottle of this rosemary with me, and I'd sniff it before I went in, and it really helped me. It was amazing. So I started giving it to the boys, or recommending it to them, because they were older by then, to, if you ever have a test or anything, use some rosemary oil. Give it to your kids. It brightens up their brain. Do your own research. Yeah, rosemary. That's good on roasted veggies too. Yeah, just to grow, to eat. Hello, Ruth. Just happened to see me, huh? Yeah, we're all here hanging out on Thursdays at 2:30. Tooth-hurty time at the Chinese dentist, But we're having tea. It's our Creativi-Tea time. But it has been, let's see, it's been an hour. So I guess our break time should probably be over. We learned a few things. I learned a few from you. I hope you get to use them this week. And I hope you all stay safe from the storms. Please pray for us and everyone else in the, we're not in the line as far as I know, but especially Strings and Michigan up there and anybody else. Pray for them and keep them safe. Pastor Tyler. Where you get the rosemary oil. Oh, I bought mine off of Amazon, but you can buy fresh rosemary and put it in a jar with some vodka, some alcohol, and let it steep, I don't know, in a dry, dark place, and shake it every once in a while for, they say 2 to 4 weeks. And that way It draws all the oils out of your dried rosemary and gets it into the tincture, into the alcohol. So that's a lot stronger than a tea of it, just the dry herbs. It's more concentrated. Yeah, or you can just get it, like I said, off of Amazon, or any health food store would have it. They have the little, you'll have to go brew some tea. Yes. Thank you very much for joining me on our Thursday Creativity. And I guess we will see each other tomorrow for testimonies. This is your reminder. Jeremy, I did put your an answer in there. You're welcome to put it on Everyday Outreach on the forum. Delaney, if you have the link there, that'd be great. I know you're fast on the draw, but you might be busy too. And post your testimony in there so we can share it tomorrow morning on not Everyday Outreach, but with Pastor BP Devo, the Bulletproof Pastor. It's always nice to see them. Nice to hear them. Let's see. Michigan gives us a recipe here too. 1/3 jar of herb filled with vodka. Pint jar, just a few drops. 2 to 4 drops after 4 to 6 weeks. Right. Yes. Now, I've heard tell that your oils will get, or I mean, it's better to use the dry herb rosemary rather than the green because there's less chance of mold or anything growing, although I've used both and I haven't had any trouble because vodka kills everything. Okay, so I think if I can figure out how to turn this off, we're going to say goodbye until tomorrow morning. God bless you, and I will see you again here, there, or in the air. Thank you very much for stopping by.